I'm going to try and document my working sets in the next couple of videos, and today it is squats. I haven't done squats in a very long time. I want to get good at squats again, and when I quit doing squats, my back hurt. I have had tight hips for God knows how long. I've been putting it off, I've been neglecting it. It's one of those things where you don't take your own advice. I haven't been listening to my own advice. I know the easy fix was just to get back into squats, getting back into deadlifts. As you guys might have seen in the other video, I'm back into deadlifts again. I did my first session, successful session on 140 last week. Very easy, very light. And today's 100 kg on the squat, and I'm actually dreading it because I just warmed up with 60 and it felt heavy. But gotta do it, gotta do it. So this is 100 kilo, first working set. Today's 3 sets of 5. Let's see how I get on. Okay, whoa, that is heavy, I'm not gonna lie. That does feel heavy. I know you guys are probably pissed this way now, but for me, this is heavy today. So I was gonna start recording as I progressed and got a little bit better, and I could start getting some heavy weights just to show off. Not show off, but you know what I mean. Like you guys might have heard me speak. If you follow me, then you might have heard me say I can squat 260, I can squat 220 for 8 reps. I've squatted 20 reps on 180. I can do all this crazy shit, and then I'm struggling 100 kilo. So I didn't want you guys to see that. But then I thought, hang on a minute. I don't give a shit about stuff like that. So this is session 1, set 1, first working set, 100 kg. Walking it out felt like hell, and squatting it wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna do another 2 sets of this. I need to duck down because I just realized that my head was cut off from the camera. But yeah, I did a nice quick warm up, nothing major, no foam rolling or anything like that, just standard warm up as you normally do. Kick your legs around a little bit. I like to sit in the squat position for about a minute before I go and do anything heavy. And this is set 1 basically. So just to talk about when you quit training and the exercises that you shouldn't ever neglect. And there's 2 main ones that come to mind for me, and that is deadlifts and squats. Everything else I feel I'm gonna just hop around for the rest of my life. But the 2 things that I'm never ever gonna quit doing now until the day I die is squats and deadlifts, is because everything with me used to be bang on. If I ever went to the physio, I've got a lot of friends with physios, or if I ever went to the physio, they always put me in the bed, checked me out, aligned this, aligned that, cracked my neck here and there, and they always said, Fadi, everything's bang on. When I go to anywhere in the world to get a massage, they've always said everything feels good, everything's in line, your hips are in line, your shoulders are in line, your spine's good, everything's good. For the first time when I started quitting, I don't know why I stopped doing them, just because when you're training in other gyms, it's not easy to set the deadlift bar up, it's not easy to set the squats up, especially if you're training on your own, and I stopped powerlifting. So I thought, I don't really need to do that, I'll just do the leg press, I don't need to do deadlifts, I'll just do some hyperextensions, I'll just do stuff like that. And I neglected the basics. And what happened is when you neglect the basics, there's an old saying, use it or lose it. It's very simple. So if you don't use it, you will lose it. And what am I talking about losing? I'm talking about losing the suppleness, the flexibility, the strength in the joints, just the strength in the posture, the abs. Well, when I mean abs, I don't mean the aesthetic side of it, but I mean the internal, the transverse obliques, I think they're called, the inside, the internal obliques, the internal abdominals. So I just neglected them for so long, focused so much about, well, I looked in the mirror, I've got a 6-pack, I'm okay, everything's good, there's nothing wrong. And then all of a sudden, you're just going around doing normal tasks, day-to-day shit. I was training biceps, believe it or not, and I'm thinking, I was on the machine, and my mate's a lot taller than me, and he put the seat right the way down. This was in Thailand. I have the seat normally quite high, so I can like lean into the pad a little bit. He had it all the way down, so when he had it all down, I can't be asked to adjust this. I went to sit down, there was no seat obviously, and I was doing the bicep curls on the machine, and all of a sudden I woke up the next morning with real sore back. And I thought, okay, do you know what? I need to start squatting and deadlifting again. So here I am, back at it, and I know from a long time ago, when I used to do stuff like this, I used to pause at the bottom. And for those days, it used to be like, what, that was a pause squat. Okay, 200 pause squat. This was a pause deadlift or a deficit deadlift. And you think of those as exercises, but what you don't realize those days and what you learn now later on is the carryover it has in fixing your spine and fixing your, you know, structure, fixing your imbalances if you have any. So I took a picture of myself recently in Thailand. I'm going to actually share this picture. So I'll share the picture on the screen. I don't know where it's going to be, here or there. It's going to be somewhere. I'll share the picture on the screen. And if you look at my posing, you'll see that I've got a bit of an imbalance. And a lot of people said, oh, he's got gyno. What's going on here? What's this? It's not that, bro. My whole right side, this side here, which, believe it or not, looks bigger, but it's not. It's just because I'm posing it incorrectly, is kind of out of whack. And the reason why it was out of whack is because of my hips. So from here, I had really tight quads. I had really tight abdominals, which sucked this in. So if you look from the side, this got sucked in, this got pulled out. My back went a little bit sore because I'm trying to stretch this. I'm trying to stretch my hamstrings, but that's not the issue. The issue is in my quads. It took me a while to figure this shit out. So all this was happening. On top of that, I had a tilted pelvis. So all this happened from me neglecting the two basic compound lifts, and that is squat and deadlift. If I had continued those lifts, I didn't have to go heavy on them. I didn't have to go crazy heavy. I'm not going to go crazy heavy now. If I'd continued those lifts, I wouldn't be in the situation I am today. So now I'm having to reel in all these lifts. I'm going to do set number 2 here. And it's crazy how much these actually help. And those people that say they don't help are doing it wrong. So make sure technique's perfect. It's amazing how your stabilizer muscles can switch off when you don't do stuff like this. So a lot of people train core and say, oh, you've got good abs, or you've got a good core, you've got a strong core, and they're getting these medicine balls and doing the slams and the side motions here and there. When I've been doing a lot of core work, and for me, the 3 things that protect your core and build your core muscle more than anything is, number 1, squats. When you walk that bar out, it tells you what's up. It lets you know what time it is. If there's any issues, any imbalance here, your body lets you know, yo, there's something going off here. We're gonna fix this. So you can correct posture, you can correct imbalances through exercise, and that's what I'm gonna do now. Hopefully you guys can follow along as well if you have any of these issues. Don't go crazy, don't go heavy. Remember, this is my body weight, or less than my body weight right now. This is not heavy for me. So take it at your own pace. Don't think, oh, this is first day back for Fadi, he's doing 100 kilo. This is me. For me, this is light. Well, it's not light, it's heavy today, but it's a light weight. I've smashed the hell out of this weight many, many times for the past 20 years. So I know how to handle this weight. Deadlifts, number 2. Going down, grabbing a bar, standing up. There's nothing more primal than picking something heavy up off the floor. And number 3, which I have neglected for many years, and this used to be something that when the guys were in the gym and the bar were loaded up, we used to do farmer's walk, farmer's carry, and we used to go up and down the turf, and it was more of like, what have you got in here? Oh, 100 kilo, okay, let's walk with it. And they kept on loading it until, you know, one guy gave out. And I used to do that like maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. And I remember from those days how strong I was and how quick I was and how athletic I was from doing those exercises. So something that I said to myself now in this cycle is I'm going to do squat, deadlift, and farmer's walk. I'm definitely going to do those twice a week, every single week, without fail. I'm going to try and do farmer's walk every day. In fact, you know what? I might even document a farmer's walk separately just to see how much it will help in recovering everything, because I definitely believe it will do. So I'm going to go again on here. Again, 3 sets of 5 reps. That's all the workout is. Very simple today. Nothing hard. This is just to let my body know what's to come. And the goal here for those people, so I can keep myself accountable, and so can you guys if you call me out on this bullshit, is to squat 220 for a few reps. That's the goal here before the end of the year. So we are in September now. So watching this mid-September, September 18th today, I have like 3 months, October, November, December, to hit 220 kilograms on this exercise, on the deadlifts, for reps. Not a single, 4 reps. How many? I don't know, but it's gonna be 4 reps. That's the goal here. But also stay injury free. So at the minute you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, I have these flat soled trainers on, Vibrams. I'm giving these a running. Try these out. I might switch to Olympic lifting if these aren't that good. Later on when I start getting heavy, if they're not stable enough, I will switch to my Olympic lifting shoes. I've got the Nike Romaleos, the old school ones. I don't even know which ones, how many versions there are right now. That was the version 2. And I will be wearing knee wraps. I'll start with knee sleeves, then I will upgrade to knee wraps, and of course the belt. But for now, for the next 2 to 3, actually no, for at least 4 to 5 weeks, it's gonna be raw, like nothing. Because even in powerlifting, raw can still mean wraps. So I'm, sorry, sleeves. I'm not gonna wear anything. It's amazing what even one session can do, because let me just get a chair. I bought one of those WWF chairs for those guys who know. Okay, so it's amazing what just one session can do of squats, in the sense where when I was warming up, I felt really tight. Nothing was working right. My whole body was out of whack. I was like, I don't know if I can even do plate aside. But I said to myself, I'm definitely gonna squat today. Something's gonna happen. I've got to do 3 sets of 5 on some sort of weight. Set 1, you guys watched it live. Well, not live, but you know what I mean. You watched it. It was shaky as hell. It gave me a quick reality check to thinking, shit, this is 100 kg on my back. I'm walking it out. Am I gonna be able to squat it? Squat it down. It was hell. Horrible. Felt horrible the first set. Second set, a little bit better. Third set, much better. That set there felt like I'm finding my groove. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do 2 more sets of 5 because I feel good. So I'm gonna hopefully not push it. The weight's still exactly the same. I'm not going crazy. All I'm gonna do is just put on a little bit more, I'm gonna keep the weight the same. I'm gonna do a little bit more reps just so that my body can get used to sitting in the hole and coming back out. All I'm trying to do here is build back that muscle memory, build back that technique, let my ligaments, my tendons, my joints know what's going on. You know, my shoulders are tight, my wrists are tight, my knees, my ankles, my hips, everything needs to be switched on. So I think I'm gonna do 2 more sets on this. I will record it and show you guys if the video isn't too long. But it doesn't matter, this is a training session, so I'm gonna label this as leg training, day 1, squats. And what I'm gonna do moving forward is I'm not gonna make the videos as long as this, but I'm gonna record my whole session or bits of it, maybe the last set, do a little bit of chatting over it so you guys can learn a thing or two as well. And we'll take it from there. Hopefully if I get enough response from it and people do like it, people like the style, what I'm doing, people like the way I'm training, people like what I'm saying, and they're learning something from these sessions, then I'll continue them. The other videos are still going to be continuing though now, but I've got my own setup. I don't have to worry about a videographer. I don't have to worry about a music. I don't have to worry about copyright strikes and shit like that. So no one getting in my way, no Joey Swole videos, just me and my dungeon. As you might have seen there, I've got very basic stuff in here. I have a squat rack, I have a set of cable crossovers, and I have a little mini deadlift platform. So the only way I can train legs is like this. It's the hardest leg session I've done in a long time, but this is gonna be it now. This is gonna be the new way for me training legs. You can always find a way to train legs. You're gonna see my legs grow for the first time. I want them to grow. You don't need no leg extension. You don't need no leg curls. You don't need no leg press. You don't need no fancy equipment, no funky weights. You can do it with the basics. And even when I had access to the gym, or I had my own gyms, the only thing that I really used to do to grow my legs, that's not squat, stiff-legged deadlifts, RDLs, and dumbbells. I used to hold the dumbbell in my hand and I used to do squats like that. I don't know what you call them, goblet squats, something like that. So this is like a variation of that, because I can kind of lean into the bar a little bit, helps me keep upright a little bit more so you don't fall over. So it's a great exercise, and like I said, the only machines that I really used to use were leg extensions and leg curls, and I never really used to go heavy on those exercises. So did they build my legs? No. I built my legs off heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, and I'm gonna get them back big again off doing the same exercises. So this is just the start, guys. I'm only starting. This is a new training program for me. I've never ever focused on building my body since I finished competing, which was in 2016. That was the last time I did a show. That was the last time I wanted to get big. Since then, if anything, I wanted to downsize. I wanted to stay lean, and wasn't bothered about strength, wasn't bothered about size, wasn't bothered about anything. As long as I felt good, I continued training and just kind of ate what I want. If you follow me on Instagram, you see what I eat. It's not the best food, it's not the best diet, but I was experimenting with a couple of things. But now, right now, I'm gonna make that change. I'm gonna show people it can be done. I'm gonna try and build a great physique again. This is the rebuild. So this is actually, I don't know how to title this. Shall I call it day one, session one, workout number one, the rebuild? I don't know what to call it. We'll call it something. The road to, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be called. But I will list these in a number format so that you guys can just catch up. I might mention little things in there as well, like today was how to, you know, fix lower back pain, fix your tight hips, recovery through movement. So this is it, set number 2, and I'm gonna do like 4 to 5 sets on this for around about 10 reps. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just getting into this uncomfortable position. So when it comes to most exercises, especially when I'm just trying to go through the motions of it, get to the most uncomfortable part. If it's the squat, sit in the hold. If it's the deadlift, just as you're picking the deadlift off the floor. If it's these squats, right into the bottom. And the weight doesn't have to be heavy, but if you always use that last range, the hardest range, to kind of feel it and put yourself through a little bit of hurt, through a little bit of suck, when that does come for the heavy days, that hard part is going to be the favorite part of yours. So for benching, hold the dumbbells at the bottom, hold the bar, make it touch your chest. If you guys seen my benching tutorials, I'm always pausing the bar on my chest. I don't compete in powerlifting. It doesn't have to be paused anymore. You know, the squats don't have to be paused anymore. You don't have to do this kind of stuff, but it works. Keeps your body fresh, keeps your body supple, keeps it flexible, keeps it strong. That's why I do it. This is another one of those hard exercises which beginners seem to neglect. You need to do this kind of stuff. If you want big muscles, big legs, big back, you got to do this. So this is stiff-legged deadlifts. Just a slight bend in your knees, that's it. You don't want to keep them completely straight. Just a slight bend. So this is not like standard deadlift, obviously. There's more of a hinge involved here. So you want to keep the bar path straight up and down as you would in a normal deadlift. That says exactly the same. But the hinge movement means your ass is rocking this time. So it's here and it's here. That is what you're doing on here, as opposed to, which is the standard deadlift. A little bit different. And on this again, this is a new kind of exercise which I haven't done in many years. So many years I haven't done this. I can't even remember the last time I did this, and we used to train stiff-legged at least, or so. It used to be one standard deadlift session a week, and the other session used to be something like stiff leg, deficit, block pulls, rack pulls, something a little bit different. And then the main session was either speed work or it was more rep work, so more hypertrophy work, or mainly power. And then this session, this other session, the rack pulls, the block pulls, the stiff-legged, they were always power. So the goal here was to shift maximum load as possible every single session. That was the goal here. There was no programming this. It was just, let's see how heavy we can go. So today I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to go heavy, but not that heavy because I ain't that strong yet. Also, you guys might be pleased to know I'm going to be sharing with you my full TRT Plus protocol, but there's going to be not hidden, but I'm going to talk about it in videos like this, so you better watch them all the way through. Okay, so this is like set, this is the last set, this is my last set. I might do 2 sets of 5, depending on how heavy this is. Let's see. Okay, so that was heavy for me. Now, complete different motion from the other day when I was doing deadlifts. These hurt a lot more on your lower back, especially after doing squats. 2 variations of. So I did standard behind the neck. Behind the neck, what the hell am I talking about? Back squats. I did the standard back squats. Then I did this landmine grappler, goblet, gobbling, whatever you want to call it, squat. So after those 2 exercises, to do this, pretty taxing, which is why I only managed to do 3 reps. But the goal here is to use maximum weight, and I'm still trying to gauge how strong I am. So maybe I overshot it there with 140, but I'll get down to the point where I'll be repping that for 15, 20 repetitions. Soon, it's coming. I can feel it. Not right now. Got to be smart. And normally I wouldn't even share this guy. I wouldn't even share this side with you. But I thought, you know what? I need to be very transparent on this journey. And I'm going to show you exactly, rep by rep, step by step, step by step, every single weight along the way on what it takes to get strong. And remember one thing, guys, please. I have been strong before, so when you see me every single week progressing, don't think he's increased the gear, don't think he's done something magical. I'm only going back to where I was before. So this isn't new strength. If this was new strength, then there's a different program for that. And if you want programs for that, click the link below for the coaching. So this right here is something new in this rotation. I never thought I'd be doing glute thrusts, hip thrusts, is that what you call them? Hip thrusts, I didn't even know the name there. But you guys think this guy doesn't know names of many exercises, and the reason for that is because this guy doesn't do very many exercises. I've always done the basics, but now I'm having to what I would class, what I would call improvise, even though this is basics for most people in the gym. People love this exercise. Oh God, this is something new I'm gonna have to get used to doing. Okay, I've got the pussy pad here. Let's go for it. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, it feels good. I think I'll get pretty strong on those pretty quick. So nothing really to show here. I'm just going to finish off with 3 sets of 8 or 10 reps on this exercise, and that will be it. That is my leg workout. I'm going to finish off leg workout with some bicep curls. I don't want to show off with the bicep curls, so I'm not going to show you the bicep curls. So that's it. The video's ended here. If you want to see more stuff like this, comment down below, like, and please subscribe. You should be subscribed by now. So this is 47.5 kg. Never done these before. First time doing farmer's walk. And yes, the grip. Definitely the grip's gone weak. And these are oval handles. But we will get better. The goal is to do 10 laps. There's the lap that I've just done. I don't know, what's that? I might measure it, maybe 20 meters or so. Then I've got to drive down that way, which is steep as hell. That's another 20 meters. So there and back will be about 80 meters in total, I think. But we'll build up to that. For now, let's at least try and do these twice.